Today, we look back at a moment in India's history when the nation had completed 19 years of independence. The year was 1966, a time when the dream of freedom still felt anew, but the reality of governance had already begun to show its cracks. This was India's 20th Independence Day, and across the country, people felt a heaviness in the air. It did not feel like a celebration, and honestly, why should it? You can raise flags, deliver speeches, and decorate the capital with banners, but you cannot hide the hunger in the villages and despair of the unemployed or the corruption that had seeped into the nation's bones. India stood at the edge of a silent abyss, and no miracle, no sudden magic was going to pull it back. For 19 uninterrupted years, one party dominance had grown bold, careless, and unrestrained. Power without challenge had turned into power without accountability. The opposition spoke, but their voice collapsed before numbers. In a democracy, one party alone shaped the decisions, and the people paid the price. The nation saw through the illusion, so did the world. No one was fooled by the confronting lie, everything is fine. For even as a government spoke of peace and nonviolence, its tools of control sharpened. Lathis, tear gas, arrests, and bayonets. Prices rose, wages fell, factories weakened, production dipped, and ordinary life turned into a long, slow struggle. When daily existence becomes a kind of slow death, people choose one moment of defiance over a lifetime of helpless silence. In early 1967, India was preparing for its fourth general election, a democratic landmark, but also a battlefield where every party made promises they had no intention of fulfilling. The ruling party declared proudly, "We have given unity, we have built progress." But what unity were they speaking of? One third of rural families lived on 2 rupees a day. Four food prices escalated beyond reach. Industries faltered, exports weakened, foreign loans piled up. As economic sovereignty slipped away, one signature at a time, 19 years after independence, India had become vulnerable economically, politically, and morally. Outside our borders, threats grew from multiple directions. Inside our borders, a different danger rose. A government speaking in two voices. Prepare for attack, but trust that diplomacy will fix everything. Sound the alarm, yet soothe the crowd with reassurances. How is a nation supposed to prepare when its leaders cannot even decide what they want it to prepare for? Doublespeak does not guide a nation. It confuses it weakens it exposes it. And then appeared the call for a united front of opposition parties, a formation that history had repeatedly shown to be a doorway through which communist parties absorbed every other voice. Backed by foreign powers, armed with external resources, they turned national politics into a theater of international agendas. This is how nations lose themselves, not by invasion from outside, but by surrender from within. Corruption on one side, foreign ideological influence on the other. India stood between these two storms. For anyone who loved the motherland, the path ahead required courage, the strength to walk alone, the clarity to resist temptation, and the discipline to place the nation above party and personal gain. Independence Day in 1966 could not afford to be a ritual. It had to be a reckoning. The nation had to face the consequences of decisions made years before: partition, bloodshed, millions uprooted, human dishonored, families shattered, and economy weakened, and a foreign dependent diplomacy that left India exposed on the world stage. 19 years had shown the difference between a visionary and an illusionist. Some leaders compromised, some surrendered to circumstance, some traded national destiny for political comfort. But one leader, one alone, saw the storm coming long before others sensed the wind. He warned the nation, he understood global forces, he walked away from comfort and walked directly into fire because India's honor meant more to him than his own safety. He dreamed of an India rooted in strength, clarity, and dignity, not borrowed ideas or borrowed courage. And today, that spirit matters more than ever. On this 20th Independence Day, in the year 1966, our resolve must be clear. India will not remain a nation of confusion. India will not bend to foreign pressure. India will not surrender its destiny to powerful neighbors or borrowed ideologies. India needs a path of strength, a path of purpose, a path lit by the ideals of Subhash Chandra Bose. Until destiny allow another leader of that magnitude to rise, his vision must guide India's awakening. India does not need borrowed revolutions. India needs a new Indian century, a Bharat rising from its own courage, its own character, its own destiny. This is the resolve, this is the call, this is how the Subhas era begins.